This auction in Salt Lake City at the Bureau of Land Management's Utah office is offering federal land for oil and gas exploration. For years, this has been business as usual. But last December, leases for thousands of hectares, potentially rich in oil and gas, were auctioned despite lawsuits and protests from environmentalists. They said the parcels were visible from sensitive national parks and landmarks. University of Utah student Tim DeChristopher was there, protesting with others. But in a quick change of mind, he became a bidder, without money.
I bid about $1.8 million. Those are the bids that I won. I also made a lot of bids where I just drove up the cost for the oil companies. Protecting the land was certainly a motivation.
DeChristopher's decision was a conscious step. He had no money or intention to buy. He just wanted to complicate the process.
When I was sitting there in the auction room deciding to make this choice, I was thinking, okay, if I do this, I'll probably go to prison for 3 years. And decided that it would be worth it to take a stand and to serve that time.
On February 4th, the leases on 77 parcels near Arches National Park, Dinosaur National Monument, and 9 Mile Canyon were canceled by the Obama administration. The money was refunded, and the government says it will look at the parcels and the environmental review conducted under the Bush administration. The process could take years. Greg Shoup oversees oil and gas exploration at the Bureau of Land Management in Washington.
There always is the conflict between which resource predominates in a particular area. Because factually, the oil and gas resource exists underground where it exists. It's not something you can do somewhere else.
This is 9 Mile Canyon. The area that we're most interested in is this area over here, where there's no development right now. Each of these orange squares is a proposed new well. They don't exist on the ground right now.
Steve Block is director of the Utah office of the Wilderness Alliance, an environmental group. He claims the estimated reserves of oil and gas in the region are insignificant. And yet he says the government was ready to sacrifice some of the most spectacular views of its national parks.
There's no dispute that the lands at issue in this sale were outside of the national parks. They were literally, in some cases, right across the fence. And there you could see and hear and smell the oil and gas industry if they would be allowed to develop right next to our national parks.
Lowell Braxton is Utah representative for the Independent Petroleum Association of Mountain States.
We're not going to disturb a park. You'll have a drilling rig on a location for maybe a month. And then after that, if it's a successful well, the surface facilities that are put in are blended in to blend in with the color of the landscape.
9 Mile Canyon, with its ancient rock art, is already on the list of most endangered places drawn up by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. Archaeologist Pam Miller is president of the 9 Mile Canyon Coalition. She says the gas and oil industries must learn to respect special places.
They say the footprint is small, they say the well is here, but they're not telling you about the power line that goes to the well, and the pipeline that goes to the well, and the road that goes to the well. And after a while, it's not a small footprint.
A balance between mineral exploration and natural places is difficult to achieve, both sides agree. For now, the Utah parcels remain untouched pending the government's review. Tim DeChristopher's case is also unresolved. The government has not pressed charges, but he has assembled a legal team. Meanwhile, he's still committed to defending the environment through civil disobedience. For producer Zulima Palacio, Mil Arcega, VOA News.